Good evening, everyone. We are going to start in 5 minutes, okay? Let others also join. Then we are going to start. Manali, from where you are actually downloading it? Okay. Uh, Try to download it from Microsoft App Store because it is available there. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Let's start the session. Okay, so we were covering Node.js yesterday, and today let me just first share my screen. Just a second. Okay, so we have covered like basics of modules, like what is common JS module and what is ES module, what is npm, how we are have to install it, then the packet.json we have already seen about it, then how it provides the information about our project. Okay, so today we are going to start with this core module section. Over here we are going to learn about HTTP module, file system, path, OS a bit, and then URL module. Okay, so let's start with HTTP module. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Node.js includes a powerful built-in HTTP module that enables you to create HTTP servers and make HTTP requests. Like we have already seen it that how we are going to create our server, which will listen to at a particular port. Okay, so it is only possible because of this HTTP module over there, which we are going to import in our file and then going to execute the function. Then this module is essential for building web application and APIs in Node.js. Okay. What are the key features of this HTTP module? That first of all, create HTTP server to handle request and send response. Okay. Until and unless you are not going to connect some it. Okay. So until and unless you are not going to create a bridge between your response and request cycle, then how you are able to actually get the response from server side, and how you just put some request to the server side. Then make HTTP requests to other servers also. Handle different HTTP methods. There are some methods over there which can be handled by this HTTP, which is get, post, put, delete. Get will give you all the info related to that particular element which is there. Post is used to actually define or to create a new element with different set of properties. Then this put will update the existing element, and then this delete is going to delete the data wherever you are going to create. Whenever you are going to create something, you have to also delete it. So the delete method is used to do that. Okay. Then work with request and response headers. We are going to see that how this will work with request and response header. Handle streaming data for large payloads. Like streaming is uh, we use for the large files where we have to use pipelines and stream functions so that it can be handled efficiently. Also, it can we will see about this streaming of data in the upcoming section, where we are going to see that how the large file will load in chunks so that there will be no problem for memory. Okay, so we are going to see that also. So let's first start with this, how to import this. So everyone is familiar with this term now, that in common JS we use require. And suppose if there was no common JS, there was ES module, then instead of this, we will write it as import HTTP from HTTP. Means I am going to import HTTP function from this HTTP module. So this is how we can do that. Now see what we are going to do. This is a basic example written over here. First, we are going to see this, then going to our VS Code and try to execute this. Just a second. Um, Hello guys, just a second. Second, I have to join another meeting for 2-3 minutes. Okay, so till then, just try to see this example that what is happening over here. I am just pasting the code. Sorry, the link for the website over here. Just try to check it. Okay, just give me 3 to 4 minutes. Sorry guys, actually I was in another meeting. Sorry for the delay. So yes, let's continue where I have left. Yes, so I was talking about this example, like what is happening over here. First of all, you are importing your HTTP module. And now after importing it, you are going to create a server. So here, see, this server constant is declared, and then you are using this module to create your server, like create server request response. Okay, means this is calling a function having parameters like request and response. Request can be through your client and response will come from your server side. Now see what this rest.writehead function will do. It will append the status code. Status code means like here they are using 200. This 200 means okay status. It is a actually status from the response side, like from back server. You are telling that this type of response is okay and the content type for it must be text or plain. Here you can see also image, you can see HTML. So whatever form you will get as a data from backend, you will get it over here in content type. Now response.end. See, response.end means after providing the response to the client and this connection. Okay, so that's why this is response.end. So hello world will be printed as a response, and after that the connection which you have created through server, okay, HTTP module, it will be ended. Then server.listen at a particular port over here, and then localhost means at this particular port which I am going to define, listen the call and
Sir,
start
your
the
screen
server.
is not visible.
Okay, sorry. Guys, actually, uh, when I switch to another tab, then I will not able to access the chat box. Okay, so if such thing happen, then please share, open the mic and let me know about that. Okay, because I can see 3 students has already tell over here like screen not visible, but when I am switched to different tab, then I was unable to see that. Okay, so I was explaining about this example. See what is happening here. Like first of all, you are importing your HTTP module. Then after that, creating a server, and this server is doing two things. First of all, taking the request and then giving you the response accordingly. Okay. Then inside this rest.write head function, you will provide the content type, you will provide the status of your code. Like this 200 is actually the okay status. Like 404 is for error. This 200 is assigned for okay status, means the request you have sent it is actually uh, in proper way and in right request. Like content type over here, which is telling us the content must be of text form or a plain format. Okay. Then rest.end means after providing this response, this rest is for response and the connection, whatever connection you have established with the server and that particular connection after providing the response, which is hello world. Now the server will listen to a particular port as you have created a server. So it will also going to listen at a particular port where it can be host the site. So for that, we have to actually do it on VS Code. Just a second. Okay. So let's try to do it in VS Code. So let's open the VS Code first. Okay, inside my index.js, what I'm going to do, I am going to just wait. This is the code written over here. Now, before starting it, we have to provide the port number also, like const port equal to whatever you want, like 3000 or other like 9899. Suppose I want it. Okay. So just do that. Now start your server. Okay, just a second. So for starting in node space, the file name index.js. Okay. So it is saying server is running at HTTP localhost 9899. When I click on this particular port, you can see hello world is coming. So this response is coming from the server side. And after the response is there, it will end the connection using response.end. Okay. And this is the basic example, which is showing that how you can use HTTP to create a particular server over there. Okay. I guess it is clear to you now. Just try to execute this code because few students are new to the session. So I want everyone to execute it. Just do that. Okay. Good, Vivek. Okay, so everyone please try it at their end. So basically, HTTP module is going to give you the access to create your server at whatever port you want. Okay, so that was the basic use for this. Then after this, we are going to see over here like HTTP create server is used to create a server. This is the request. Then this is the response object. Okay, then this response dot write head sets the response status code and the headers over there. Then the also the content type. Then response dot end sends the response and end the connection. Okay, and server dot listen actually takes the port number as argument and start the server according to that. So we have already done that. Now this is another example where they are showing that inside the response.write head, how you can provide the headers, more headers over there. Like the content type, we have actually seen it. Then X powered by means the code is written through for Node.js, cache control over there. And if you want to set some cookie over there, then you can do that. So cookies actually stores the data in browser, and there is difference between cookie and cache. Like cache, you can say that it stores the data temporarily for for fastly accessing it. Okay, so that is the difference between cache and cookie. Now also here you have printed this hello world over there in H1 text, so you will get it as according to your output. So this is simple thing. In this, just these three lines are added over there in response dot header file. Okay. So yeah, after this, there is common HTTP code. Means 200 is used for OK message, standard response for successful HTTP request. 201 for your request has been fulfilled and new resource created. 301 moved permanently. Like the important one are 200, 400 for bad request, 404 for not found, error not found, or like you have, if you have gone to some website and the page can't be reloaded, then it will throw us an error 404. That means that request resource could not be found. Whatever you are requesting, it has been not there. So that's why you get that particular error. And if there is internal server error, then you will get the status code at 500. So these are some basic status code which you have the knowledge of it, like 200, 404 and 500. 200 for OK status, 404 for not found status of your request, and then 500 for internal server error. Like many times when we are going to do something from our postman tool, then we will see this 500 error there, like internal server error. You are not able to send the request, or you are not able to update something from the current element. Okay. So just do that. Now we are going to see working with URLs and query strings. So first of all, what is URL? URL is actually Uniform Resource Locator. Means here the thing you are actually getting is a URL which have a path, which have a port number, which have domain name, okay, and also query with them. So this is known as request URL. So we are going to continue with request URL. Just a second. Okay, good Ashwini, good Vishal. Yeah. So good. Try to give a read to it. Okay. Then we are going to start with it. Just a second. Okay, good Isha. Yes. So this is the URL. Try to just see what this code is doing. Okay. A second. Okay, good, Abhishek. Now we are talking about requested URL, that how we can do that. So first of all, see this HTTP require HTTP means here you are using common JS method to import the HTTP module. Now you are creating a server. HTTP create server. Okay. And after creating it server, see this line. What is happening over here? You have to understand it. First of all, this request is the requested URL you have sent to the server side. Okay. So from this requested URL, you want to destructure. This is known as destructuring something. Destructuring means you have to pick something from a particular thing. So from this requested URL, you want to pick the URL and the method. Method like get, post, delete, and put. Okay. The four method we have seen above, we are talking about that. So from that, you have to select a particular method as the requested URL, as per the requested URL. Now inside the response.write head, you are providing the status code 200 for response, and then this content type as text and plain. Now what will happen through this line? See this. Response.end means send the response and then end the connection. You made a dollar method means it will search for the method value from the requested URL. From this line, it will search for this method. Now method will be get, post, put, and delete. But suppose if you are requesting something from the backend and it is providing you the output of that at a particular route, then that method is known as get method. So for this, we will get the get method output and request to URL. Now, what is this URL? This URL is basically the part after your localhost colon 9899. What is like, see, here you are providing this particular uh, request like HTTP colon double slash localhost colon 3000 slash. So after this 3000, the path will going to start. Okay. So that is what you are providing over here. So let's try to copy this and execute in VS Code. Okay. So here it is. Save the file, ending the connection and starting it again because the port is now 3000. Okay, so let's try to see it on port 3000. So we are getting you made a get and slash. Okay, so why I am getting this? Because as you can see here in this program, we were using slash dollar method means fetch the value for this method from the requested URL. And the URL you have requested is this. This localhost colon 3000 is actually your requested URL. So from here, as this is a get request to get some response from the server side, that's why you are getting over here this get method. And for this URL section, you can see the server running at HTTP localhost colon 3000. For this slash, you are actually getting that particular output. Like suppose if I put over here slash and then press enter, there is no difference. This slash is hidden by default. Okay, so that's why it is only showing me this slash over there in URL section. So this is basic one also. Now something interesting we are going to see, like how to make the parsing means how to make the components from a URL. Like URL consists of many components. I have already told you, like here, this is your protocol. Then this is the domain name. Then this is the path, and whatever you are going to present after a question mark is your query. So how to make the component from that particular URL. Okay, so we are going to discuss that in this particular example. The URL module provides utilities for URL resolution and parsing. Resolution and parsing means making the component out of them and using them accordingly. It can parse a URL string into a URL object with properties for each other. It will be more clear when we will try to execute this bit of code. So let's understand that what is happening over here. First of all, you are importing your HTTP module so that you can create a server at your end. Now you are importing this URL module. Why they are importing this URL module? Because they want to break their URL at some parts. Okay. And for that, you have to use a parse method, which is defined in this URL module. So see, first of all, what is happening? Const server HTTP create server and then a arrow function having parameter request and resolve response. Okay, so what will happen? Const parse URL. This is the constant you have declared, and it is having URL dot parse, means you are using parse method, and it is actually working on request.url. Whatever the URL you have requested, suppose we have requested http colon 3000 and then some path over there, then it will try to break down that URL in different things like, first of all, the protocol. Okay. After that, this domain name, then the path name. It will break and store each values accordingly from this line. Okay. Like by this line, the path name will be there in your parse URL. The host name will be there. The domain name will be there. The port number and any other query parameters must be stored in the parse URL. Now, see here what they are doing. Const path name, so they are accessing the path name. How they are accessing the path name? Using parse URL. What is parse URL? The constant where all the values stored, and they are appending a path name over here, like parse URL dot path name means they want to fetch the path name from that particular URL and assign it to the path name variable over there. Okay, so like this, you will get the access of the path name. Then query. If there is any query, then also parse that query from the requested URL. Okay, then response dot write head 200. The content type is application or JSON format, means the output you will get will be in JSON format, key value attribute over there. Then see what is happening over here. Response.end JSON.stringify path name query full URL, means whatever you have accessed in this path name in this query parameter, you have to put that as an output in string format in JSON. Okay, like path name, and then the path name which I am requesting in my URL will be outputted to me. Then the query also and full URL. Then this null and two are here just to manage the output. Like it will not be in one line only, it will be in a good format. So for that we are using null and this two for the formatting. Then server will be listen at port 3000. So it will be more clear. First, let me execute this code. Then it will be more clear to you that how we are actually doing this. Okay, so for that, let me go to my VS Code. Okay, and everyone has to execute this code because this one is the important one. So let me just clear the terminal first. Wait. Okay. Now this code is written over here. What I will do first I will execute this file. Okay. Now you can see it wants a path name from my URL, a query from my URL. Okay. So let's go to first our localhost colon 3000. Then it will be clear to you that what is happening. Okay. So let me just open localhost colon 3000. Okay. Here, right now what they are saying that path name is slash because nothing is there after path name, and query, no query is found. So it is showing me empty, and full URL is also slash. So now let's try to make this good. Like first of all, after the port number, we provide a particular path. I am giving it path like test because we are testing something. After path name, we pass a query. Now for query, there is a question mark because then only you will come to know that, okay, for this particular instance, you want to get some data. Okay, this is like your search parameter or your query. Okay, so right now I am providing it like this: name, bunch, and operator, age 21, again an AND operator, city as Delhi. Okay, so I have, see, now this section, just try to understand it at what I have done over here. First of all, this localhost 3000 local is your host. Then 3000 is the port number. Then whatever you are providing after this slash is known as path until this question mark arrives. Okay, so suppose if I have provided slash test slash name slash other things, then it will become a particular path. After this path, from where this question mark actually start, this is known as search. Okay, and After this question mark, like from name, this is known as query. So query including the question mark is known as search. Otherwise, this name Ivansh, age 21 and city Delhi is your query. I guess now it is clear to everyone. Now see what will happen if I am going to click enter after doing this. So for path name, one test should come there because after slash test is there. Then for query, name Vansh, age 21, city Delhi must come and full URL will become test question mark name Vansh. So let's see, are we getting it? Okay, so this is actually now the output according to them. So let's try to evaluate it first. So path name, they are giving it test. Okay. So after slash test is only there. So that's why we are getting test. Now the query parameter over there, name is Vansh. Okay. Age is 21. Okay. And city is Delhi. But are you able to see this format is JSON format? That's why we were using their JSON.stringify the content which you were getting over there. Like here in VS Code, if I come to see over here, yes, here they are already telling it like JSON.stringify means whatever the content is coming, you have to convert it to the string JSON string format. Okay, so for that they have done it. And then this full URL will start from your path slash test question mark name one age 21 and city is Delhi. So are you able to got it that how this things is working? Okay, so let me just paste the code over there. Now let me once again in the chat box tell you that how you have to do that. After localhost colon the port number, whatever you are going to provide after this slash is actually your path name. So put the path name over here. Okay, whatever path name you want. After this, in this question mark, you have to assign query. Okay, so whatever query you want to query can be assigned like name, then its value. If you want to add multiple query, then add and operator in between them. Age, again, its value. Okay, so like this, you can do that. Just try to execute this code. For reference, let me just open it and then I will going to continue tell you that how you are getting it. So let me also provide this in the chat box so that from there you can get an idea that how you have to pass the URL. Wait. Okay, good Vivek. And yes. Okay, so Vivek has done it already. Great, Vivek. What about others? Quite easy. Just you have to have the knowledge of each and everything that what the code is doing, how this parse function is working. It is breaking it component by component from the uh, protocol to that last thing, which is query, how it is doing that. So this is important. Okay, like here you can see this requested URL. Now see, this is the your requested URL, currently requested URL. That's why it is taking this particular URL and then parsing it one by one. Parsing it like giving the path name from the parse URL, giving the query from the parsed URL, and then providing you the output accordingly at your end. So I guess it is clear to you all. If yes, then please share the output in the chat box. Okay, as I have already shared the code with you. Also the requested URL that how you have to do it. Okay, so guys, are you trying it at your end? Because only Vivek has shared it. What about others? Are they facing any problem? Okay, Ashwani, see, this thing happened. See, when you go to your terminal, you can see there were multiple terminals will be running on 3000 ports. So just delete all the portals, or otherwise just try to change the port number over here, because you have using multiple outputs in the same portal. So that's why one is not closed. So that's why it is saying that it is already in use. Okay, good Vatsal, good Manali. Okay, great. Just do that, Ashwani, and let me know. Okay, so that's good that few students are trying. What about you, Isha? Are you facing any problem? Isha, Hasini, and who is left? Abhishek, Harsh. Okay, good, Abhishek. Okay, okay, no problem, Harsh. Okay, okay. So, okay, great, Isha. Now let's see the upcoming section. Okay, so HTTP module is basically about that, like creating a server and using it different formats. Okay, when we are going to know about Express, then we will see that how we can use post, we can use put methods over there through Postman. Okay, so then we are going to complete other portion of that also. Now let's try to see about this file system over there. Okay, file system name is suggesting that in this module, you are going to see about the file formats. Okay, like how to open a file, how to read a particular file, write into that particular file, append some content over it, delete that file, change the directory, everything we are going to cover it. Okay, inside this. So let's start. So first of all, this FS stands for file system. Okay, so in this, first of all, we have to import it to use any functions over there in that particular module. Now see, what are the common use cases? Like where you can use this file system module. First of all, to perform file operation, read and write file, create and delete file. CRUD operations you can perform. CRUD means C for create, R for read, U for update, and D for delete. Okay, so this performance you can perform through file operation, append files, rename, and change file permissions. File permissions like readable file permission, writable file permission, etc. Now, directory operation. You can also perform some operation through this file system module on directory, like create and remove directory, list directory, other things. And some advanced features are also there, like file streams, file descriptors, symbolic links, file watching. Now, how to read a particular file? So for reading a file, there is a function read file, but actually it read the file asynchronously. Asynchronously means that parallelly. Those tasks which will take some time, it can be run parallelly. Okay. And after the completion of that particular task, the response will come to our server from server. Okay. So this is happening over here. So first try to see about this example, then it will be more clear to you that how read file can be used. First of all, const fs require fs means you are importing your file system module. Now fs.read file, this is a read file function which is going to read the file asynchronously. myfile.txt, this is the file name which you have to read. UTF-8 means read that particular file, myfile.txt, character by character. Okay. Then a arrow function over there having error and data. If the file is not there, provide the error. If the data is inside the file, provide the data. Okay. Console.error, error reading the file. Otherwise, console.log file content, whatever the data is there in the file, provide that. Simple bit of code is written over here. Now, second thing, again reading something. Now, this is the image.png file. Okay. So it is a image.png file. If that will be there, it will throw us the data for it and the size of it. Like here they are using image size and telling you the image size in byte. If there is any error, then it will throw you the error. So let's try to execute this quite simple example telling you that how asynchronously you can read a particular file. Okay, so one thing you have to make sure that this myfile.txt must be present so that it can read it. Okay, so here I'm going to create myfile.txt. Okay, inside this I am going to write hello, I am Virg. Okay, so this is what I have done over here. This is my index.js content. Also image.png. I am not declaring any image inside it, but just declaring it. Okay, so that there will be no image and we can see 0 as the image size if that work properly. Okay, so let's try to see it to making it starting it. Okay, so just a minute. We are inside our myfile.txt. Wait, they are saying that can't able to get this image.png. Actually, sorry, I have used img, not image. So let me just change that. Okay. So change the name again, starting it. Wait here. Okay. So are you able to see now? File content, hello, I am Vansh is read it from my myfile.txt and provided it to my terminal. And then the image size is 0 bytes. Why 0 bytes? Because as we open this image.png, there is no file. So that's why we are getting it 0 bytes over there. And what was the previous mistake? That here I have used different name and make the file with different name. So that's why they were saying that they will not able to find the file in the same folder. So just try to execute this code. Okay, quite simple one. Execute it and provide it in the chat box so I can get an idea that you are doing it. Okay, when run command cursor stop, not any action happen. Why this happen? Okay, good, Vivek. Yeah, Ashwani, the doubt you are asking because we are not using any console command over there. Okay, so that means that if you are not going to print something on terminal, then how you can get something on terminal? So console command is actually get the output on your particular console. So that's why we are not getting any output for that purpose. Okay, in that case, this will halt over there and you will get the output on the web browser. Okay, so that was the reason you were not getting it at that. What about others? Only Vivek is sharing. Everyone, please try to execute. And if someone is facing any issue or any doubt, then they can ask. Okay. Only Vivek has shared it right now. Guys, are you facing any problem? Manali, Isha, Vatsal. Okay, good, Manali. Yes, you just have to create two files. One is image.png and another is myfile.txt. Okay, and then put some content or file over there in your particular file, and then you will get the output accordingly. Okay, so I guess that it is simple one and you can do that. Now, how to read a file synchronously. We have seen that how we can read it asynchronously. Now there is also a function read file sync, means read the file synchronously. Okay, so now we are doing that. How to read a file synchronously. Synchronously mean it will block that particular command over there at that particular line until and unless that will be completed. So let's try to see what is happening here. They have created a try and catch block. Catch will handle the error part and try will do, which will provide you the output. So here what you are doing in myfile.txt, you are consoling the data over there at your end. Okay. And if there will be any error, then it will throw us that particular error. So let's try to execute this now. What is the difference between asynchronous reading and synchronous reading? You are clear with that? Then also make sure the functions, you can get the idea while reading this function that read file sync means synchronously. If sync is not there, then it is asynchronous function. Now let's try to do again execute this, and you can see file content hello I am Vansh is printed in this case. Why? Because we are using it synchronously. Just a second. Operations are very easy. Just you have to know about the built-in function which you have to use. Now, how to create and write a particular some content in a file. Suppose I want to create a file and write some content over there. Then how I'm going to do that? Here, see this const fs equal to require fs, and now it is using this promises version over here. Now, this async function, they are making a function asynchronous by putting this async keyword over there. This is a good way to write your code. Okay, in modern time, we write the code in asynchronous uh, way. Okay, async await. Now see what will happen. This write file example is your function, which is a asynchronous function. And then whenever it will think that something will take time, it will use this await before that. Suppose if I know that this file is going to take some time to read properly, so I am going to use await over there. So fs.write file. So write some content over this file, which is myfile.txt. First parameter must be file name. Then whatever you want to write inside it, and then this UTF-8 is telling you that write code character by character. So this is known as character encoding. Now what will happen? If also you want to write some JSON data in a particular file, then how you have to write it? Const data, name John, age 30, and city New York. Where to write this data? fs.write file, data.json. Create a file data.json and then put the data over there. JSON.stringify in the particular format, put the data, okay, and put it character by character. If that is done, then in the terminal, let me know with this console over there, file created successfully. If any error will occur, provide me that particular error. Okay. Now, one thing about this write file function is if suppose by default you are not going to suppose, let me just put it over here. Okay, then all delete me my file.txt. Okay, I am what I'm doing. I am deleting my file.txt. So no my file.txt is there. Go to index.js. See, I am not going to create data.json file, my file.txt, because this write file has the access to create a file by default and write the content over it. Okay, so let's see that is it true or not. So I'm just executing the code. So it is saying me files created successfully. So let's see over here that file are created or not. So for what was the first file name? It is myfile.txt. What must be the content over there? Hello world. So let's check. Okay, so I will go to myfile.txt and hello world is there. Means the function is working fine. Now check about second function file over there, which is data.json. Okay, so let's see, is there data.json? Yes, there is data.json. And yes, the content is there in json.stringify object. Means from JavaScript object, they have converted to the JSON format and provided that format as the output over there. Okay, so I guess this is clear. Quite uh, just a second. Okay, so just try to execute this code. Here you are using write file method of file system library or file system module. What this will do? This will just create a file if that is not created earlier, and then write the content inside it. Suppose if my file .txt was earlier there, okay, and I don't delete that, then it will change the content. Like there was written, hello, I am Vansh. So it will erase the content from that file and just write hello world over there. So that is the main thing which write file function will do. So just try to execute it, everyone. Okay, good, Vishal. What about others? Guys, if you are facing any problem, then please let me know, because I'm not able to get that. Sir, using the node mon, is it infinitely overwriting the file? File created successfully, file created successfully. Okay, so Vivek, instead of nodemon, please use node space index.js. Like nodemon will be executed whenever there is a change in the content of a particular file. So I guess that uh, if the file mylefile.txt is changing the content, then repeatedly it is doing that. So that's why you can use node space index.js over there. Okay, good, Manali. Okay, okay, good, Vivek. What about others? Vivek, Manali, and Vishal. Ashwani has already shared it. Like 8 students are there and only 4 have done it yet. Okay, good, Ashwani. I can understand that Harsh is joined through phone. What about you, Sushmita, Isha? Are you facing any problem, guys? Then let me know. Okay, so let's move further and see what is upcoming function. It is append file. You all are familiar with appending some content to file. Means it will append some particular content in your file. Now, how you can do it? This is the code written over here. Let's try to dry run this first. So first of all, you are using async and await. Then in this log entry variable, you are assigning this backticks. All of you are familiar with template literals, that how this backticks will evaluate the function inside it. Okay. Now you want to append new date in string format. And after that, this application started in a particular file where you want to append this particular data. Now see, we are using fs.append file. Okay, in this app.log file, append this log entry, means append this data in app.log file. Okay, character by character. So for that, UTF-8 is there. Console.log, log entry edit. And if there will be an error, error will be resolved accordingly. So let's see that how it will work. Append file, also create a file if that is not there. Okay. Okay, good, Isha. Okay, so let's see. This app.log is not there. But when I try to execute this, then you can see log entry is added and a file having name app.log is added to my system. So let's try to see it. Okay, it is giving me today's time and date accordingly as per my function use, and then this application started. So that's mean your code is working fine, and this is how you can do it. Okay, so basically just appending some content over a file, write file and append file can directly create a file if that is not there. Okay, so that is the difference between read file, write file and append file. I guess it is clear to you. Now, file handlers. File handlers we use for more control over our file operations. Like suppose if manually I want to write some content over a file, what can I do? I will go create a file, open that file, okay, then write some content over it and then close the file. Same thing we can perform through this handler. This file handler is actually an object. We can use it to open a file, to close it, to write the content over it. This is the code. Let's see what is happening over here. Const fs require fs, use the promises version over there. So that's why you are able to use async await. Okay, so you are making this write with file handler function asynchronous. Okay, and then what you are doing, fs.open output.txt in writable format. This is the access you want to give to a particular file. So you want this output.txt to be opened in writable format so that you can write some content over there. So that's how you are opening it. Now what you are doing, file handler dot write. Write first line, then slash n means go to next line, write second line, go to next line, write third line. So these things you are writing in output.txt using file handler. After that, after writing all the content, what you are doing, you are closing it. Like in this line, if the error will be there, you can catch that error. Otherwise, if file handler is open, means if this is opened, the file is opened, make that close. So that's how you have more, you can say, command over your file through this file handler. So let's try to execute this code. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I will create a file for it, which is output.txt. Okay. Then try to execute it. So, oh, wait. Index.js. Yes, clear the terminal and then try to execute it. So it is saying content returned successfully. Now, if I am going to open my output.txt file, then are you able to see first line is written over there, second line is written over there, and third line is written over there. So this is how you can use the file handler. So it will just open the file, write some content into it and close file. So this is only difference between normal read write function and this file handler function, that it will give you more command over it. So basic one, but still we have the knowledge for each and everything written over there. Okay. Okay. No problem, Manali. Guys, just try to execute this bit of code. Okay, and tomorrow I am going to assign you the week 3 project. So please be available on time. We are going to see one, two more example over here, then just going to wrap the session. So please try to execute the code. It will be based on a bit of Node.js. So try to do that. HTML, CSS, React, and we are going to complete this Node.js remaining module over there so that you can use them and create the project at your end up to Monday, and no further extension from Monday. Okay. Because 2 days are plenty of time. You can create it at your end. If there is anyone who wants to present their project for the week 2, if they have completed it now, because I guess 1, 2 students are there who have not shown it to me right now. Okay, good Vivek, good Isha. What about others? These two guys are executing the code. Vishal, Ashwani, Harsh. Okay, Harsh is joining through phone. Okay. Bhavigada, Sushmita, are you there? Good Ashwani. Okay, great, Vishal. So that's good that you guys are trying to execute each and every code. This is great. Yes. Guys, see, everything is based on consistency. Like this program, when students joined this, there were, I guess, a lot of students over there. But now 50% of students are only joining regularly. So that's great because you are ahead of them. You know that if you are joining, you are here to learn something. So if you are going to be consistent like this for the upcoming week also, then it will be very good for you. Now we are going to use streams for large file. Now, what is stream and what is actually this pipeline which they are using? Let me tell you about this. Pipeline is actually something through which you can convert your readable file to a writable file. Means it will provide you a platform where your readable file, means the content is there in the readable file. You can push that content from readable file to writable file. So for that we use this pipeline. Now streams are basically chunk of data which will be loaded to your memory, and then it will be read or write content accordingly. Right now, see, whatever example we were taking, what will be happen, like we were writing 1 or 2 file. Suppose I want to write 1,000 line over there in my, you can say, file. So first of all, that particular file must be loaded. If I want to read a file which is of 1,000 lines, first of all it will load to my memory. It will take some space if that is containing 1,000 lines. So it will so instead of the functions we were using earlier, we are now going to use the streams format over there. How the stream format is better for large file? Because they upload the particular file in chunks so that there will be no load on memory. Like suppose if a 5 GB file is there, if I use the ordinary function, then what it they will do, they will pull the 5 GB file to the memory at once. Suppose if memory is not enough, then it will throw an error that cannot read that particular file. But in stream, what will happen? Suppose if you have 5 GB of file, okay, it will load only some part of that file. For example, 1 GB of the file first. So after reading that 1 GB, it will load another 1 GB through that memory. So this is how we can use streams for large files. So let's see this example, then it will be more clear. For writing large amount of data, we use stream to avoid high memory usage. Okay, so as it uploads the code in chunks, so it will not give error if, and also use high memory usage. Now see, const fs require fx, then restructuring the pipeline from streams promises and readable format from this stream library. Okay, then what you are doing, see this bit of code, you are creating write large file function asynchronous. And in this line, what is happening? Let's try to understand this. First of all, you are creating an array of 1,000 lines and you are writing some content over it. Okay, and mapping it one by one. Suppose it is starting from index I, and map is actually an array indexing in JavaScript is started from 0. So this I value is initiated to 0 at first. What will happen? Line I value is 0. 0 plus 1 means it will provide me the output line 1, and then this x is there. Repeat this x 200 times. Means in line 1, the content will be like x repeated until 100 times. Like multiple time x will be there up to 100 characters. Okay. Then it will move to the next line. Then again, this loop will go up to 1000. So there will be 1 to 1000 lines, and x is repeated over each and every line up to 100 characters. Okay, so this is a large file. So what you are doing, you are reading that file. So readable dot from means read that content over there from that particular file which is having this data. Okay, so you are reading it. Now what we are going to do, you are writing that, you are creating a writable format also. Like here, this writable fs.create writable stream, the data in which you want to write some content, you are creating that, and write large file.txt over there. Means write the data which you are reading from another file into this file, which is large file.txt. So write this 1000 lines of x in this large file.txt. Now we have to connect both of them, because file is this is the readable format and this is the writable format, but we want to connect both of them. So here pipelines comes into the picture. So basically it is connecting readable stream to writable stream, so that you can write the content from readable file to the writable file. Okay, and if that will happen, it will give us the output according to this, otherwise throw us an error. So let's try to execute it first. Copied it. Sir, I will read it and execute it. I need to go. Okay, okay, no problem, Vivek. Okay, here it is. Pasting the code over there. Okay. Now what I have to do, I have to just create this files over there, which is large file.txt. Or let's try to see that is it working before without creating the file. Yes. So as you can see, we have not created large file.txt, but still it is providing the content over there. Okay, so just a second. Where is large file.txt here? As you can see here, 1000 lines are written over here with x repeated to hundreds character in each line. So this is a large file, and that is done through pipeline. Okay, so I guess it is clear to you all. Just try to execute it. Okay, good Vishal, good Isha. Okay, so great guys that we have finished about this. From tomorrow, we are going to actually cover that how to delete a particular file. Okay, this unlink method is used for deleting a file as the strength is not much. So I am not going to start it today. Otherwise, I have think about it to complete it today. But as I can see that few students have some work, so they have leave the session. Okay, Bhavigada Sushmita, you can present it right now. Okay, so yes, for the remaining time, I can take the presentation. That's good. Uh, Vishal, if just 5 minutes till then he is presenting, then till then you can join. Then we can leave the session. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Actually, I'm not getting your voice, Sushmita.
Sir, my voice is audible, sir.
Yes, now it is audible. Yes, present your project. Okay.
My screen is visible, sir.
Yes, your screen is visible.
This is the website I will create. My website name is book your event next event. This is used for the event booking website I will create. This is
Okay,
the
good.
page I will create. We click on this button, all events will be appear. We click on the music button, only music event will be appear. We click on the sports event, and dance event will be appear, and circus event will be appear. Movie, this event will be appear. We click on the book my show button, this pop-up will come. This will be appear in last. We book this event, we don't have this event remove also. uh, this this will be this will be the appear for the screen. This is the screen will be appear.
Okay, good.
No events is there, remove all the events. We book, this pop-up is there. You book any event will be appear in this last. We don't know, we remove these events.
Okay.
Uh, this is the code I will write.
Yes, explain a
H,
code a bit. Okay, good.
this is the code. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript I will use in this website. This is the HTML code, and this is the CSS code for this, and this is the code for the main container. This container I will use this code, and buttons. These buttons I will use in this code, and this is the JavaScript code I will use. This is the code I will use in pop-up. To click on this button, pop-up will come. This code I will use.
Okay, good.
This, this is the section. In booking section, I will use this code. This section overall code is there.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
So
good. Yeah.
I'm done,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, okay. Great work, Sushmita. The UI is looking good. Okay, and that's good that you have created it. Great work.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you everyone for joining. I guess we can wrap this session now. As you have seen that she has created a good project at her end. Okay. And you guys also have presented your respective projects. So great work, guys. Now from upcoming week, okay, please in just The project will be a level up. So prepare according to that, and try to complete it on till Monday. Okay, so that I can take the presentation only on Monday. So thank you so much for joining. We are going to connect tomorrow, and we'll finish the remaining part of this module. Okay, thanks everyone. Now you can just leave the session.